Good morning นะครับ everyone Happy Chinese New Year นะครับ Okay then นะครับ when we talk about the logic in Microsoft Excel normally this kind of like feature นะครับ or functions in Microsoft Excel is very useful for all of us because most of the time when you have to just calculate something on Microsoft Excel นะครับ it's not just using the formula but it's also the decision making as well นะครับ and the logic in Microsoft Excel นะครับ is used in order to help making decisions the way that we have to do นะครับ in order to um, make decision in Microsoft Excel is that we have to use if function to help นะครับ so for the if function นะครับ it is a way in order to formulate the logic for decision making in Microsoft Excel. On the last class, we talked about the two different kinds of if function. We have the first one is what we call basic if, and the other one is what we call nested if. So today I'm going to talk about some more about like the nested if, because on the last class we just like I introduced you for the basic if only. So for the basic if, it's a way in order to make a decision or to choose between two choices to have yes or no only. For example, in this example number one, we say that if the student score is from 60 and above, we give S, otherwise we give U. You can see that in this case we the condition that we have to choose is from 60 and above. This is one range of data, and the other one is not, the score is not from 60. So what should we do in this case? If the decision making is the numbers, normally we use the number line to help. The way to do is that we just like simply put the number that we are interested in. For example, in here it talks about 60. That is the number that they give it to us from 60 and above. So the next symbol that we have to use is that we use the circle and the arrow to help. So if we say that okay, from 60 and above, that means we include 60, right? Because it said that from 60. So another thing that you have to know is that you have to interpret the value to justify the criteria that we are interested in. For example, in here it said that from 60, it means that it includes 60 as well. If the number if that number is included, normally we use the dark circle to help. We use the dark circle to help. That means we include this one. And then above, we just simply use the the arrow to the side that specify above. This one is this line represents from 60 and above. And what about the rest of them? The rest of them, if we just like want to draw the similar way, the way that we exclude that we choose white circle like this. We choose white circle like this, and then we just like do the same thing. We draw the line to the opposite way around. This is less than 60. In this line, you can see that we call it as it's less than 60 because we exclude 60 in this line. So for the first line with the dark circle here, if any score that falls into this line, we will give S grade. Any score that fall into the line with the white circle here, we give U grade. This is the basic way that we prepare the logic in here. And after that, from this number line, we will change this number line to be the if function. So We talk about if function นะครับ on the last class that when we have to use if นะครับ in Microsoft Excel we just go to see if function a bit. For if function here you can see that it followed by logical tests นะครับ value if true and value if false normally นะครับ in here if it is the basic if นะครับ we just like stick to the range or to the criteria that we would like to just like focusing in. For example, in here we are focusing in S grade นะครับ so that means the logical test here we will test for the range of S grade and if the value if true นะครับ we just like show นะครับ the S grade to this cell value if false นะครับ in this line you can see that we will show U นะครับ and in order to show value if true or value if false if it is a text for example if you want to show S you have to put double quote นะครับ you have to put double quote on for example in here นะครับ if you want to show S you put double quote S if you want to show U you put double quote U นะครับ okay now let's see when we have to formulate this one how do we gonna form the logical test the logical test here is to just like compare in this one we want to compare the score นะครับ with the range that we set up here for example นะครับ in this example number one we know that the score is stored in the cell B6 then we will compare B6 นะครับ with this range so the things that we get is that นะครับ we get equals to if right okay and the score is in the cell B6 we enter B6 here we say that okay for the range that we are interested in to give S นะครับ if the score is greater than or equals to นะครับ because this one we include 60 นะครับ that's why we have to put equals to as well so it is if B6 is greater than or equals to 60 this is the logical test value if true we just enter the value that we want to show in this case we want to show S นะครับ and value if false means that if the score นะครับ is not greater than or equals to 60 นะครับ this line the above line here is the line that is not greater than or equals to 60 that means if that score is less than 60 นะครับ that is the other way around to think about the logical test for the U grade นะครับ then we just enter U in here so this is the basic if we can formulate it already when we get this one นะครับ you can see that we enter นะครับ we enter the formula in this cell นะครับ so it becomes like this so that means if the student get 40 นะครับ 40 is here is less than 60 for sure okay it's less than 60 for sure like this so that means this person will get U grade นะครับ in here okay if the student gets 61 okay let's say if this student gets 61 you can see that this student get S grade because 61 นะครับ is on the lower line here นะครับ 61 is here so that's why this person get S นะครับ here so the interesting point นะครับ for the if function is the point that is located นะครับ here any score that falls into this part is interesting because it can be used in order to check whether you formulate the if function properly or correctly or not so if นะครับ at the borderline if you enter the value and it shows the grade นะครับ that is not what you want that means you just like formulate something wrong then you have to go to check especially for this one you can see that we may have like greater than 60 or greater than or equal to 60 in here it tells us whether it's correct or not for example in here we say that score is from 60 and above นะครับ it means that if you enter 60 we should get S grade right? In this one, let's try. If I enter 60 and if I get S grade, that means, okay, this one should be correct, because greater than symbol, that means it's just like from this point and above, for sure you get 60 grade. For example, if you get 99, you get S, that is correct. Or if you get 59, you should get U, something like this. This is the way in order to test. Don't forget that when you just like prepare if function, try to test at the point that is used to separate each value. In this example, we use 60 to test. So it will tell us that, okay, whether the value or whether the condition that you set is correct or not. That is the first example. After that, we talk about the score that we gave to Jane for the attendance score. So this one we say that, okay, we'll give attendance score to Jane. So that means this time we don't use the number line because Jane is a text. Then in order to just like formulate the if, we just use equals because in here name is Jane. In here we say that if B11 equals to Jane, this is the logical test to test for the text for the equality of the text. So in this one, if it's equals to Jane comma 1 means that value if true. Value if true means that if this cell contains the value Jane, you give you just like put 1 into this cell that is in cell D11. Otherwise you put 0 okay. So this is the logical test for the text. Normally we use equal sign, or we may use like these are just like the value, sorry, the logical operator that we use. If it is number, normally we use less than greater than, less than or equals to greater than or equals to not equal or equals. These are just like the logical operators that we use to compare. But if it is a text, normally we use equals to or unequals to. So these are just like the logical operators that we use in different kind of data. Right. Okay. Now we learn for the basic thing of the basic if already, that okay, if we have just like two different things to compare like yes or no, like the range to get S, the range to get U, something like that. The next thing that we have to learn is about like, what if we have more than one condition? What should we do? Just one below. Let me just add that one for you. The next one, the next one. I would like you to warm up with this, what to say, basic if once again, with this example. We are going to give the commission rate 10%. We are going to give commission rate to 10%. When the sales amount is greater than 1 million baht. Otherwise, you give 5%. So this is what I want you to do in here. I want you to just like do this one by yourself. Find the commission rates. For each sales representative, for each salesperson. Okay, find two things for me นะครับ find the commission amount and the commission find the commission rate and the commission amount of each sales representative for me please. Okay, so that means the thing that you have to do first is that find the commission rate for each person. After that you just multiply sales amount by the commission rate to get the commission amount นะครับ okay, so in this one นะครับ let's spend 5 minutes in order to calculate the commission rate and commission amount for each person นะครับ so if you get the answer already please type your what to say please type the formula นะครับ of commission rate and commission amount นะครับ on the chat box ครับ okay, let's start ครับ 5 minutes ครับ everyone. For this one you can see that when you are asked to find out the commission rate นะครับ in this one you can see that there are just like checking for the value of 1 million baht only นะครับ that is more than 1 million baht you give 10%, otherwise you give 5%. so this one we use basic if นะครับ that should be okay. so to prepare the basic if นะครับ same as like we did is this one is about the number. when it is to compare the number I just use the number line to help. And I found that this one, the point that I use to judge นะครับ for the commission rate is is the number that is 1 million นะครับ this is 1 million. let me just like use just 1 million. okay, so that means in this one if it is more than 1 million, more than 1 million means that it's exclude นะครับ 1 million นะครับ it's exclude 1 million. in this one it's greater than 1 million here we just say that okay this one the commission rate is 10%. otherwise นะครับ we give 5%. otherwise in here means that from 1 million and lower นะครับ from 1 million and lower we give 5% instead นะครับ we give 5% instead. so when we have to formulate นะครับ we just use นะครับ equals to if ครับ condition here นะครับ for the first person Andy here his sales amount is located in cell C16. I just like try to go to 10% in here checking if C16 is greater than 1 million นะครับ because this one goes to the right hand side here นะครับ exclude 1 million it means greater than 1 million comma นะครับ 10% นะครับ value if false นะครับ means that on the other way around we give 5% instead นะครับ and then we close parenthesis. okay, so in this one นะครับ when we just like use this one hang on, I just enter the formula for Andy นะครับ Andy get 0.05. I'll just like change it to be presentable later นะครับ I copy the formula down there first so that I can just like check for other people as well นะครับ in here I want to format the cell as percentage นะครับ okay, no decimal places. in here you can see that for Andy he get 100,000 it's less than 1 million for sure the rate is 5%, that's correct. Amy 999,999 that is less than 1 million นะครับ she gets Amy 999,999 in here. you can see that in here What's wrong with Amy? Actually, 999,999 is less than 1 million. She should get 5%, right? But in this one, there must be something wrong. If Amy's commission rate is 10%. So let me just check the formula. Oh, there's 1 0 missing. It must be 1 million. Okay. So that means I forgot this one. It must be another 0. It must be another 0 here. I have to add 1 million here. Okay. Now, let's do it again. You can see that right now, Amy get 5% already. Joy, who get 500,000 for the sales amount, get 5%. Now, let's see Pam. For Pam, 1 million and 1. 1 million and 1 is over 1 million. She gets 10%. Yeah, that is correct. And for Dion is 2.5 million for sure. It's more than 10%. Sorry, it's more than 1 million. That's why she gets 10%. Now let's see the point that we that is a cutoff point that is 1 million. If I say that, okay, I have another person that is Alex. He get 1 million. How many percent he get? He gets 5% because 1 million at this point you can see that for 1 million it's on the top line here, that is in 5%, because 1 million is excluded from 10%. That's why he gets 5%. Okay, now let's see for the commission amount in here. We say that commission amount is a sales amount times commission rate. In here we get commission rate times sales amount in here. So these are the commission amount for everybody for everybody. Okay, right. Okay, then you did very good job for any of you who just like show me on the screen on your chat box you did everything correctly. Let me just check a bit. Be careful a bitเศรษฐนันท์ okay. Also who else? Yeah, เศรษฐนันท์ be careful about your formula 5% and 10% are calculatable number 5% and 10% are calculated number. Don't use double quote like this whenever you use double quote, this one means you want to show the text Okay, don't use double quote in here. Be careful Not every version of Excel can accept this one because in the old version of Excel, if you have to use some computers that is like Excel 2016 or older when you put double quote 5%, it means this value cannot be recalculated so you have to just enter just 10% or 5% as I show you in this blue text like this instead. So be careful about that. Okay, up to this point, do you have any questions anyone for the basic if? All right, so if you don't have any questions let's move on to the next kind of if. That is what we call nested if. Nested if is the if function whenever we have to use if in order to decide or to make decision for many possible values for more possible values than just 2 different values like this one. For the previous example was like judging between more than 1 million baht or not, just that is just like one criteria or sorry one logical test. But for nested if, it's a if when you have more than one logical test we call it as nested if. For example if we talk about นะครับ if we talk about the score นะครับ the score you can see that right now นะครับ in MUIC นะครับ we have the grades นะครับ apart from S and U we have the grade that is called as OSU นะครับ OSU นะครับ apart from just S and U you can see that right now in MUIC we have 3 different grading system one is letter grade the regular one A B C D นะครับ another one is S and U that we just like did it already นะครับ if you get like greater than 60 นะครับ sorry from 60 and above you get S นะครับ otherwise you get U นะครับ like the basic if that we did it already now let's talk about the third scheme of grading นะครับ in MUIC we have the grade that we the grading at that is what we call OSU grade นะครับ the score for SU grade นะครับ can be given according to this range นะครับ let me just like give you the table นะครับ okay what weลองนะครับ okay. This is OSU grade okay there are like 3 possible range of score นะครับ to justify the grades for us so in this case นะครับ just basic if is not enough anymore as I told you earlier whenever you have to make a decision for the numbers นะครับ the best tool that you should use is the number line because it will help you to just like elaborately thinking about the range นะครับ of the value that we have to just like justify and put it into the if function นะครับ okay so we just like do the following things as we did with the basic if first นะครับ and after that I'll just introduce you for this nested if we said that for the score of 0 to 59 นะครับ it's U grade นะครับ means unsatisfied 60 to 79 it's S grade means satisfied and then 80 to 100 นะครับ the grade is O or outstanding for this one นะครับ the first thing that you have to check first นะครับ is that whether the score range is overlapping or not you can see that nothing is overlapped 0 to 59 and then the next one is 60 to 79 and then must be 80 นะครับ to 100 right okay so that means when it's not overlapped you can just like create the if function properly but if it's overlapped you have to fix it first for example if somebody said that okay the range of the score is like this 0 to 59 is U 59 to 79 is S นะครับ the point is this one นะครับ be careful if 59 appears on both range and if there is one student who get 59 points which grade should we give to him or to her then be careful นะครับ if this problem exists you have to clarify it first that 59 should goes into what grade นะครับ before you start formulating this function otherwise it will be wrong นะครับ okay right okay now let's see นะครับ let me just like change it back okay so the first tool that we have to use is that we have to use number line to help นะครับ in this one after that we say that 0 to 59 นะครับ the point that we just like use to help is here you consider the continuous range that we have got that is 60 to 79 นะครับ somebody said that okay they just use the point at 60 and anything that is less than 60 like 59 is less than 60 นะครับ it is like it will be automatically judged as you, something like that. Somebody said no, I want to put it as 59 and at is 59. You may just like put 59 to be here, 60 to be there. Like this. And there might be a problem as well that okay anyone who gets score นะครับ in the middle, for example if that person get 59.3 what grade should that person earn นะครับ so that might be the problem in that one. In order to solve that problem นะครับ I can tell you that in that case you may use rounding นะครับ the function rounding to round the score. If that person get 59.3 that means the rounding function will make 59.3 to be 59 and then that person will get you instead. But if that person get 59.5 when you round it, it just like put to 60, then that person get satisfied on you นะครับ so in order to make it easier นะครับ I just like consider นะครับ the number that is ended with 0 like 60 80 something like that so that it will be easily justified นะครับ okay now I put 60 นะครับ as one point and I put 80 as another point นะครับ we can do this one as well นะครับ no problem because if we have anyone whose score is 59 is less than 60. anyone who gets score 79 is less than 80 as well นะครับ okay so now let's plot on this number line. We said that for the first group of people นะครับ 0 to 59 นะครับ 59 means less than 60 right, then I'll exclude that number from 60 and then I go to smaller number. This one, it means the people in the first line score range 0 to 59 นะครับ. in this one we said that for this person the score the grade is U. Next 0 to 79. 0 to 79 means that sorry 60 to 79 sorry 60 to 79 in here means that we include 60 in our consideration but for 80 we exclude it because 79 is less than 80. And then we just draw the lines between these two circles. Anyone whose score falls into this line, that person get S. That person will get S. Lastly, 80 to 100. I can just like say that 80, we include 80 in our consideration in here. To above, this person should get O. Outstanding. So when we get the 3 different ranges นะครับ in order to consider for the grade of the person already, what should we do นะครับ in order to prepare the nested if before I go to the next part of the nested if up to this point, do you have any question ครับ for the number line that I separate them into 3 different ranges? Okay, if you don't have any questions นะครับ let's continue. When we have to use the nested if, I told you already that nested if is the way that we have more than one logical test to be done. In this case, you can see that there are 3 possible ranges นะครับ in order to consider. That is different from the first or the previous example that we have two different possible values to judge only. So in this one, when you have to formulate the nested if, what should we do? Let's see the function that we have to use. The function that we have to use is if function, same as the previous basic if that we learned. But where and how can we put logical test more than one logical test? In order to have logical test more than one logical test, we do like this. Okay. Let me just use a program called Notepad to you. So if you use Windows, you use a program called Notepad. But if you use Mac, you can use a program that is called Text Edit. Text Edit, in order to just like type all of the formula easily. Okay. So let me just like show the Notepad, typing in the Notepad for you, so that you can see it easily. How do we gonna formulate the nested if function? So the basic if is this one. We have logical test, comma value if true, comma value if false. Okay, this is the basic if. Okay. Now let's talk about the nested if. The way to put is that we just like begin with the same if. We have the logical test. And after that, instead of writing value if true, you may have value if true number one. And instead of having value if false, you have the second checking. We have if followed by logical test number two, comma value if true 2. And if you still have another if, you can enter another if in here, if and followed by logical test 3. And value if true 3. Okay, let me just show you here. I just like push it down. In case that you have a lot of testing. And after that, you just close, sorry, the last one, you may have value if false, and then close parenthesis, something like that. In this example, is the example of when you have like more than logical test, more than one logical test. In this example, we have 3 logical tests. But sometimes if you have 4 or 5 logical tests, you can do the similar thing like this as well. You can add the if inside another if as if it is an argument. So you can see that right now, this part, the blue, the highlight part, this one is equivalent to value if false of the logical test 1. Okay, while this part is the value if false of logical test number 2. Something like this. So we have if in if like this. That's why we call it as nested if, because we have the relatedness of the if inside each other. That's why we call it as nested if. In order to use nested if, normally we let me introduce another tool that will be useful for you. This tool is what we call flowchart. This tool is what we call flowchart. Let me introduce the flowchart. Some of you are familiar with the flowchart from other subjects or from your high school already. Let me just like show you. Okay, this one is just like the number line. This is the number line that we prepared before. Okay. Okay. We get the range for U grade, S grade, and O grade already. Okay. So for the flow chart, let me introduce to you. Flow chart is the chart that we, or the diagram that we use in order to just like draw to represent the action or the flow of doing something. In this class, when we talk about the nested if, we use the flow chart to represent the action that we have to do whenever we have to make a decision of something. Okay, these are like the basic symbols that we use to represent the flow chart. Starting from the first one. The first one is just like the oval shape like this. This part, this symbol, we call it as start and stop. We use this symbol in order to start the program or checking on something or problems. Normally, we just draw this oval and then write the word start or the word stop inside. Somebody may say that begin or end, something like that, or start, finish. That is okay too. The next one, we have the parallelogram. This symbol means the input. When you want to input some numbers, when you want to input some values. For example, we just type input score in B46, something like that. Next, it is the diamond shape. The diamond shape represents decision making. For the decision making, we just put like the things like the if with its condition inside. For example, we may put the logical test. One logical test inside. For example, if B46 is less than or equals to 80. And then we branch out. One branch is true, the other branch is false. We will do some action if it's true. We'll do another action if it's false. I'll just like show you when we finish this part. The next one, we have the rectangle. Rectangle means process or calculate. Sometimes we need to calculate something inside. Like the value if true or value if false, we may do it as well. For example, we may say that, okay, the score is score times 10% or score plus 10%, something like that. We will calculate by using this rectangle. Next, this is the pencil symbol. Pencil symbol. Pencil symbol means display. We will enter the value that we would like to display. For example, we enter or we write down grade U, grade S, or grade is pass, something like that, in the display box. After that, we have circle. Circle means we call it as on-page connector. We use it to link different lines together. Otherwise, it might be messy. So that's why we just like link the line by using the on-page connector. If you have more than one page, I mean, if you cannot finish everything in the same page, we use just like the pentagon to represent the off-page connector. We just write something like an alphabet on a number inside a pentagon on one side, and use the same number of the pentagon on another page, something like that. And the last one, this is the flow of data. We use arrow. นะครับ like you may see that okay this one for the decision here we have the flow of data นะครับ if the checking becomes true นะครับ what are we going to do if it goes false what are we going to do we just like flow them with the flow of data or arrow have in here okay now let's see the way that we have to do in here นะครับ I am going to create the flow chart นะครับ to represent the grade of students นะครับ when we have like 3 different grades to judge firstly we start นะครับ when we start already we just like have the arrow นะครับ down นะครับ the flow นะครับ that goes down after that we say that okay in this one input score นะครับ in B45 นะครับ assume that we enter the score in the cell B45 นะครับ after that we have the flow นะครับ and then we make a decision if B45 is less than 60 นะครับ okay let me just like tell you the tips นะครับ you can see that in this example we have 3 different grades right 3 different grades U, S, and O. When you start checking นะครับ you may start from the left นะครับ the leftmost one นะครับ then you go to the middle one and then you go to the rightmost one นะครับ you can see that the direction is that you may start from left to right นะครับ this is one way but somebody said that hey can I start from right to left yes you may so if you would like to start from right to left it means that you have to test the grade the O grade first นะครับ that means the score is from 80 นะครับ to 100 after that you go to check on second possible grade นะครับ 60 to 80 and after that you go to U grade checking นะครับ so the direction is here นะครับ right to left you can do it as well นะครับ from right to left or left to right but the one that we must not do is that if we start from the middle first and then you go to check on the right and after that you go back to the left no this is just like random นะครับ without a certain direction we don't do this we have to start from left to right or right to left just like one way only in this one if you have a look on my flow chart I check if B45 is less than 60 that means I check from left and for sure the next one I go to check for the S grade and then O grade that is from left to right นะครับ for this checking okay now let's continue นะครับ in this one we say that okay we test whether B45 is less than 60 or not นะครับ and then I branch out if true I say that grade is grade is U นะครับ not grade is fail grade is U grade is U okay let me just type the text that is okay S oh okay let me just like show it to you again if B45 is less than 60 นะครับ is less than 60 because this one you can see that we exclude 60 right so when we exclude 60 นะครับ we use less than 60 only if it's true grade is U นะครับ now we branch to the false if it's false you can see that you cannot stop checking นะครับ you have to still checking on it because right now we still have 2 possible grades 2 more grades นะครับ to be checked if you just like say that okay grade is S นะครับ that's not the point that we have to do because we still have to check because if the score is greater than or equals to 60 you can see that the score goes to this side you still have like 2 possible grades to be judged that's why in here I say that I still have to go on checking if it's false I still keep on checking if B45 is less than 60 or not. Is less than 60 or not means that I want to scope just this. Less than 60 is here. Go to this one and it touch the point that is 60 here. So if B45 is less than 80, and if yes, if yes, you can say that grade is S. Okay. Otherwise, somebody said you have to check. The score must be less than or equals to 100. Otherwise, it will be error, something like that. For example, if somebody entered the grade 102, you want to show or you want to report the error, something like that. In this case, I check if B45 is less than or equals to 100 or not. Means that I want 100 here to test anyone who get the grade in this range. The grade in this one means that I just check from this and touch the point at 80. This one include 80 as well. Include 80 as well. And then I say that okay, it's O. If it's true, I want to show O grade. The grade is O. Otherwise, I show error. And after that, I just link these. You can see that when we have true in each pencil shape here, we need to have just like the line to continue, because normally the flow chart, you cannot stop like this. You have to link everything, and then you go to the stop symbol. In here, you can see that I have circle here, and then I go to stop. Circle here is the on page connector. I connect these lines together, and then it stops. So in this one, okay, when we get this one already, it must be U, S, and O. Okay, it must be this grade. So when we have this one already, how do we gonna make how do we gonna make the if function? How do we gonna make if function? Before I go to create an if function from this flow chart, do you have any questions for this example for this flow chart? So if you don't have any question for this flow chart, let me continue preparing the if function for you. For the if function, okay, let me just use this one. Just one belong, everyone. All right. So this one, I will formulate this one. I just like start with the if. In this one, I will start from this one first, B45 and 60. I start if B45 is less than 60. And then value if true is here. Grade is U, comma, double quote U grade. Otherwise, for value if false, I cannot enter any other grade, but I have to just like do the checking first. I continue with if B45 is less than 80. Value if true of this diamond shape is that I put S grade. Otherwise, value if false, I cannot judge in here. From this flow chart, I have to still checking. I check if B45 is less than or equals to 100. If true, I just enter O. Otherwise, this one I can just like finish it already. I can enter value is false นะครับ value is false here value is false is I display error นะครับ after that no more thing I just close the parenthesis of the innermost is the next if and the last if นะครับ it will be like this let me just like type you in the chat box นะครับ okay this is the nested if function that we have got นะครับ when we get this one already what are we going to do when we have this นะครับ okay let me just check first for this one นะครับ for this one assume that we have the score of the students นะครับ we have the score of the students right now I want to just like use the same set of score of the student that we have hang on we can test this okay we have students name score and then grade we have Jim Amy Judy okay so assume that we have the score of the student like this ครับ and then we have grade นะครับ okay let me see first the score is located in B in C32 นะครับ then let me just fix this one first to be C32 for each condition checking C32 okay in here นะครับ in here I will copy this formula into my Excel okay now I'm testing นะครับ for Jim score you can see that when I type here นะครับ and I just like move the mouse pointer over it it just show นะครับ the syntax and each argument that is testing as well นะครับ now I have to check first there must be something wrong oh you can't see the Excel right okay in this one นะครับ you have to be careful นะครับ the problem that happens to me is that because I copy from PowerPoint to Notepad ครับ the most important symbol is double quote symbol นะครับ the double quote symbol let me just share you my screen once again here you can see that double quote นะครับ must be straight double quote symbol then if it causes the error like this while your function is correct already you have to just change double quote symbol properly นะครับ otherwise it goes wrong okay so in this one you can see that okay I copy this formula in here you can see that now นะครับ Jim นะครับ he got 59 the score is less than 60 นะครับ so he get a U นะครับ yeah this is correct next นะครับ for Amy she gets 79 นะครับ the things is like this. C36 is less than 60. No, 79 is not less than 60. We have to go on checking the next if. Now 79 is less than 80. Then it will show S. Yeah, and then Amy get S. For Judy, 80. She got 80. C34 is less than 60 or not? No. We go to check for the second if. C34 is less than 80 or not? No. We keep on checking for the value if false. So if C34 is less than or equals to 100, 80 is less than 100. Yes, then she get an O. While the last person Anne, she get 103. We compare C35 with 100, sorry, with 103 with less than 60. No. We keep on checking. C35, 103 is less than 80 or not? No. We keep on checking. C35 is less than or equals to 100. 103 is less than or equals to 100, not 100 or not? No. Then it shows error. So that's why for Anne here, it shows the error case for her. Okay. So this is the function that we use in order to justify the score of a student to justify the score of the student. Okay, right. So in this one up to this point, do you have any question for this example to justify the OSU grade to the student? Okay, so if you don't have any questions let me just like having another example to let you do it in this one this is the nested if to calculate the bonus of employee. So right now we have the same group of our employees with the sales amount, but right now we have years of work for the employee. Okay, let me just like copy this example for you. So right now we have to calculate the bonus the bonus is calculated from this condition from the years of work. What would I like you to do? I would like you to find out the bonus rate and bonus amount of each employee. Okay, in this one I would like you to find the bonus rate and the bonus amount of each employee the bonus rate can be calculated from the year นะครับ that they work with us นะครับ if they work less than 1 year นะครับ the bonus rate is 3% นะครับ from 1 to 5 years bonus rate is 5%. but if that person work more than 5 years นะครับ the bonus rate will be 7%. then please find out the bonus rate and bonus amount for me นะครับ this one I give you 10 minutes นะครับ to do 10 minutes to do นะครับ to find out bonus rate and bonus amount นะครับ you can just like talk to your friends or your classmates นะครับ to find the bonus rate and bonus amount for me นะครับ all right okay so please spend 10 minutes in order to just like do this one นะครับ all right okay just take your time ครับ everyone so in this case นะครับ all right okay let me see some of you just like showing me นะครับ and showing your classmates for what if function you can formulate นะครับ a little bit thing that you have to be careful as I told you นะครับ if it is percentage นะครับ that is calculatable later on นะครับ try not to enter double quotes นะครับ try not to enter double quotes นะครับ like 5% like this นะครับ some of the Excel version is not compatible with this symbol and it will think that you are trying to type the text 5 and then percent symbol นะครับ it will not be calculatable so be careful about this now in this case we said that we have to consider number of years work นะครับ to give the rate of the bonus to each person นะครับ this one you have to be careful นะครับ some of the people just compare like doing like this if let's say C39 นะครับ equals to and then you put this one นะครับ J39 no นะครับ this is wrong less than 1 year 1 dash 5 years this is just my explanation only it's not the condition that you can test by just like related to this cell นะครับ the things that you have to do is that you have to just like translate the meaning of this table นะครับ into like what if function required so we have less than 1 year 3% 1 to 5 years 5% and more than 5 years 7% in this one นะครับ the things that we have to do in here is that okay let me just show you in this one the things we do is this นะครับ we just like create the number line first so that we can analyze easily นะครับ in this one you can see that okay we have like 3 different values that we are interested in sorry 2 different values that we are interested in 1 and 5 นะครับ because in this one it said less than 1 to 5 more than 5 years old there are just like 2 numbers นะครับ in consideration นะครับ so the first range less than 1 year นะครับ we exclude 1 year นะครับ and then we give 3% second range is 1 to 5 we include 1 and we include 5 years นะครับ and then we give 5% and the last one นะครับ more than 5 years means that we exclude 5 years and the arrow go to the right hand side we give 7%. Okay, so when we draw the number line like this already, the next thing that we have to do is to prepare นะครับ the flow chart นะครับ I prepare the flow chart by starting it นะครับ I assume that I enter number of years work in the cell C55 after that I just like compare นะครับ I start from left to right นะครับ firstly I just check for the first range the first range here นะครับ in here it means the value is less than 1 นะครับ we exclude 1 so if C55 is less than 1 year นะครับ if it's true นะครับ bonus rate is 3% นะครับ next if it's false นะครับ you cannot stop you have to keep on checking นะครับ check what check for the second range we change up to year 5 here นะครับ so in this one we just check นะครับ as I told you is from left to right we just check the C55 is less than or equals to 5 years or not นะครับ okay in here if it's true นะครับ that means it falls into the second range here bonus is 5% but if it's false in this one you may just like say that okay the rate is 7% นะครับ and then you stop. So in this one, what is the difference between this example and the last example? The last example, you can see that the score, as everyone knows that the maximum score is like 100. So that's why I say that I still keep on checking if the score is greater than 100, I show the error. But in this one, okay, you can see that you have like the year that you work with that is more than 5 years. But somebody said that, Ajahn, but no one works for 100 years. So if you have to check that if the C55 is greater than 100 years, you show the error. So that one you can do it as well. But how do you know that is 100 year is the value that you have to check? Why not 60 years? Why not 40 years? Why not 35 years? So it depends. That one is just like for the optional one that you just like want to check or for validate the error. But it is not the way to check for 3 or 5 or 7%. That is the error checking, just that. After that, when you just like find out all the bonuses rate already, you just like stop it in this one. So when you have this one already, before I move on to the part of preparing the if in the as a formula, do you have any questions about this one? If you don't have any question, okay. Now let me prepare the if function from this one, from this flow chart. In this one, assume that the year that the person works with the company is in cell 55. I just like follow through this flow chart. I said that if C55 is less than 1, comma, bonus is true. If it goes to the true, bonus is 3%. Otherwise, value if false is continue checking. If C55 is less than or equals to 5, comma, value if true, value if true. So in this one, I just follow through, if C55 is less than or equals to 5, bonus is 5%. Otherwise, if it's false, we give 7%. After that, you close parentheses because you have no more checking, okay? As we have 2 left parentheses, we need to have 2 right parentheses as well. And then I copy this formula into our Excel sheet. In this one, bonus rate is in E39. We would like to check for D39. Okay, let me change this one first. D39. Right. Okay. All right. So I copy it to other cells. Okay, now let's check. Right. Okay, now let's check. For Andy, he got 0.5 years, less than 1, then he get 3%. Yeah, that's correct. Amy works for 1 year. 1 year is not less than 1. We go to have the second if. The 40 is less than or equal to 5. 1 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, so it's 5%. Yeah. For 3 years, it is like not less than 1. Okay, we go checking. is 3 is less than or equal to 5, yes, then it's 5%. For 2 years, 2 is not less than 1. Then we go checking. 2 is less than or equal to 5 or not, yes, then it's 5% bonus. And for last one, Dion worked for 6 years. 6 is not less than 1. Then we go to have another check. 6 is not less than or equal to 5. Then we go to value is false. Then this person or Dion will get 7% for the bonus rate. And we just calculate we just multiply sales amount by the bonus rate to get the answer. Okay, right. So this is the way in order to formulate the nested if. This is the example for formulating the nested if. On the next class, I will talk about the and, or, and not functions that you can use in order to join with the if function to make a decision with like more complicated logical tests if we have got. So from now, you can just like start your assignments already. You can start your assignment already. So that means in this one the exercise 1 to 5, I think you can just like doing all of them now. So 1 to 3, exercise 1 to 3 is okay, is ready for you because you just like learned the nested if already. At least you can just like start doing most or the major part of these exercises. All right, and then for the for the Excel file that we use and the formula inside here, I'll just like upload it on the e-learning for you as well as a video. I'll try to just like upload the video as soon as I can so that you can just like see how if function works properly. Okay, right. Okay, then up to this point, do you have any questions, anyone? So Lakshya asked me about the makeup class. Let me just like make a decision. Finalize your date that you prepare for me before, and then I'll let you know on Wednesday.